Hey Joe, this is Kevin Huntington. I was on my way back from some appointments today, and I'm going to give you a little tour to give you generally an idea of where 708 Holly is located in the Summit neighborhood of St. Paul. So I'm actually, if you can see behind me, broadcasting, not live, but this is the Cathedral of St. Paul on Cathedral Hill. And as we scan generally north, you get the view of the state capitol here, and then we come around east and we're looking into downtown. And again, this is Cathedral Hill. We're up on a bluff. Over beyond that street over there, you can see the Mississippi River bluffs in the far background, but there's a whole neighborhood, West 7th, down at the bottom of the hill. So just to give you an idea of where 708 Holly is situated, I'm literally going to start us out here at the cathedral, looking out over downtown St. Paul, and again, Lower Town is down on the far side of those buildings. And here's a quick view of where we're going to be going. Right here, we're originally starting right. Generally at this corner where the cathedral is, it's John Ireland Boulevard and Selby. We're going to move down John Ireland, it turns into Summit, come across Summit Avenue. 708 Holly is here, just kind of in the corner of Dale and Summit. Then we're going to head over to Grand Avenue, which is the street I mentioned with the restaurants and such. So I'm sorry that's the best map that I've got available. And I'm going to keep the camera running while I run back to my car. Feel free to fast forward. It's going to be about 30 seconds. Literally running to keep this video as quick as possible for you. Here's a view back at the cathedral. And again, this intersection is Summit at the base of the cathedral. We're going to be, or Selby, heading down John Ireland Boulevard to Summit. And this is the neighborhood of the old historic homes that I had mentioned. And we're about 3 minutes away from the intersection of Summit and Dale, which is generally right where 708 Holly is. Interestingly, as we pass through here, this red stone building on the far side of the trees, if you've heard of James J. Hill, the railroad baron of Minneapolis in the Northwest, this was his house. Now it is a historic site. They do tours. Pretty neat. Anyway, so as we drive down Summit here, you're going to see all these old historic homes where the real big-time people in the early 1900s lived. And as we discussed, a lot of these places are now broken into condominiums, rental units, and not a lot of them obviously are single-family homes anymore. And Summit Avenue, coincidentally, is where the governor's mansion is if you go, I don't know, maybe a mile down the road past the intersection with Selby. So I guess I'll just leave it on one side, otherwise we're just looking at the road. And I guess I'll call out the roads we're at in case you want to follow along on a map. But we're going to be heading on to the main part of Summit Avenue, which extends past Governor's Mansion and all the way to where it meets Minneapolis at the Mississippi River and crosses. Actually, it doesn't cross. It ends in a park, but you can go north or south up to Franklin or Marshall, get across there. So now we are heading pretty much directly west on Summit. Got some apartments over on this side of the road. Some more mansions over here. Try to give you an idea of what the neighborhood character of the neighborhood is like here. Nice Victorian house over here. We are coming up to Dale, so we're gonna head north on Dale, and we are a couple blocks away from 708 Holly right now. So we turn north on Dale, we meet Portland again, apartment building there. The next left turn is going to be onto Holly. And we are a block and a half away from 708 Holly. This is going to be on the south side of the street. Kind of regular sized houses here. Apartment building. This is a corner of St. Albans and Holly. That is an elementary school right there. Got some apartment buildings, and 4 or 5 houses in on the left is where we're actually going to see 708 Holly. Again, right across from this little elementary school. And here is 708 Holly. That's the building right there. If you look up and down the street, 702 Holly, apartment building. Looks like a duplex. The apartment's on the corner. Duplex right next door. And that is 708 Holly. Have parking off the alley. I'm going to go ahead and go into the alley. It's not a direct through because we've got this church on the corner. So if you enter through their parking lot, it'll actually bring us right into the back side of Holly where we'll get a view, and then I'll end this tour by driving over to by driving over to Grand Avenue to give you a sense of what that's all like. So this is the alleyway behind Holly. Permits there. Right here is the parking area for 708 Holly. These 3 cars. And that is our building right there. And room for 4 cars parked back there. Right. So we are 2 blocks, or a block and a half from Summit. And just on the other side of Summit will bring us to Grand Avenue, where the restaurants and the shops are. So, coming around the corner on St. Albans, heading south, crossing Portland. That intersection there is going to be Summit Avenue, and then just after that is Grand. Kind of a gloomy day here, looks like. Sun's going down, but just about to start peeking out from under the clouds. So look west on Summit. Back east on Summit, we'll cross. The intersection up here is going to be Grand Avenue, and we will end this tour, I guess, by just going a couple blocks down this road. So we got the sushi place here. Hardware store, liquor store. Oh, here's the sun. Right as we're going into it. Here's the sushi restaurant. And Dixie's. Southern style. Edina Realty. Walgreens drugstore. Pier 1 Imports. This is Grotto Street. And now the sun's coming out here, so I'll try to avoid the glare on this side of the street. So again, this is grand. You can see they got some sidewalk patio cafes and mixed housing and restaurants and some bars, apartments and trees. Finally, we got Billy's on Grand on the corner of Victoria. So I'll call this a wrap right now. Again, Kevin Huntington, thanks for checking in with me. If there's anything I can do, any questions I can answer, don't hesitate to give me a call or send me an email. But thanks for watching the tour of Cathedral Hill, the Summit Dale neighborhood in 708 Holly. Take care.